2,116 of these creatures lead the armies of exiled locusts for these two timelines, and there are 1058 each. They supply new fuel for flying cars in these timelines. So the timelines are the Dan Barrett Sharks Heal Bodies, then Mark of Beast is a test of body image timeline that we went over. The one based off one mind, similar to Governor creatures, the Deal creatures, and Dan Barrett creatures and reincarnations of himself. Now, 40 years is that one. Talents of Flood, all those flood creatures we went over, the Deluge, the Deluva Cursors, all those. Charlie Hunnam, uh, his timeline with the Excalibur sword that he gets for real. The Zombies, Muhammad Ali, related to that. John Candy timeline, which is related to Islam. Amar Camp in a Jar, Lift Up Baby timeline. We had a few visions of that. The Mark Heat film, Moses Aaron, that we went over briefly just in a vision in the car. And I had a few brief visions on paper of those. It's kind of dark the way that it goes, but it deals with the Starseed Mexican stuff a little bit and their infiltration into the U.S. using Walmart and everything through a deal and with the cartels. Old Grox related writings that we went over a lot of those whenever I had my broken foot and back, and this is also 40 years. So these two are 40 years each. They branch off from everything else. Now, the rest of the timelines that we've gone over, this is kind of a overview, are done in FEMA of Island Nations. The 9-year, 85-day Dogon Star has the Chiroptera and Super's Dream rights to. Um, that Super's supermarket that was shot up, like I had a sign from that to go ahead and write down some sort of dream with the deal of what I would be doing. And then I kept that going for a while, and it would be a delusion every day, like something would happen that would relate to it, and how everything was like leading to it or something. But we had that, and then we had the ones that I flushed that were the Chiroptera. You know, they ended up with the Chiroptera that I saw a bat in the sky. Um, really, it was at night, like no caves, but they're around here. So that and so I'm saying this Dogon Star gets rights to those, whether that's BHB or Ben V. Somebody that receives the head wound and is not hurt by it. So I'm thinking they would blame a terror attack on them is the assumption there. And then it would all turn around because can't kill them, um, so his security detail force that we've gone over in those Starseed crash visions, that they have Matrix plugins are installed at these locations, and food is imported from islands and theaters. The theaters that he'll create for that timeline, it's 9 years. This is before the 7.7. Okay, so USA nuked at end of 7.7, then to 2066 New Hawaii, Aussie land. Then 1,000 years starts in Middle Earth that our world is dropped into. Okay, so um, all right. So let me break this down real quick, okay? Because I know this is a lot. This probably just sounds completely insane. I understand that, okay? So what I'm thinking is we start with a 150, okay? We start with a 150 is that is Rev 9 and is my consistent prophecy writings. Writings start, we call it, which are all combined to be a 150. I've got that in my videos, multiple places of how it was a 147, it was a 138. It's changed. I've added more to it. So right now, as it stands, it's a 150. So you have the 150, then you go to 9-year, 85-day. Okay. And remember, at the end of this 150 is a rapture, leave clothes. Leave clothes behind. Okay. Rapture, leave clothes behind at the end of the 150. All right. So then you have 9-year, 85-day of the Dogon star. Now remember, the Dogon thought that Jesus was Satan. Like, it's all switched up. They thought the story changed at Barnabas, like it flashes red like in Pulp Fiction, like, hey, this is done for the story. This is all prophecy, or the way it goes after somebody has to do that or something. So Dogon star, they blame 9/11 on and can't be killed. Okay. So then, like, the dream that I had is like he's in movies and stuff, and like changes the whole world. Like he's like he's seen as like a good Hitler. Like, he gets all these nations behind him, and like they all become the security detail force, the SDF. Okay. And I'm thinking that we'll put another arrow here. I'm thinking that he leaves at end of 9-year, 85-day. Like how Grox would say, well, then he leaves. Like, you don't know how he leaves, he just leaves. Like, something like his time is done as the Revelation 13. It's kind of a Revelation 13 type. Okay. It's kind of a Revelation 13 type, because then after him is this SDF, which you could say is the beast out of the earth, but this is a 7.7. Okay. Or 7.7 minus this 150. So it's probably like a 7.2. Okay. Or 7.2 roundabout, 7.1. And what they're doing in that is they're rounding up all these villains, like all these people that they're going to deliver them up, kind of thing. And a lot of them will be Christian, and they go to this FEMA, and then they're plugging into the matrix in it and living like whatever their vision was that I had, and like that God wants them to do. Like, I don't know how it all works, but they like live that in the matrix, and their food is actually okay. So they go to bed tired every night because they lived in that matrix world. Like a whole virtual thing, but it's like real, It's like the Matrix, where they plug in like in the back of the head. Okay. So then at the end of that, USA nuked. They nuke it. They nuke the whole thing. Okay. So then after that, you have, it goes to 2066, which is from 1066 AD. My family, they came over from like the Norwegian and French side and went into England, 1066 AD, October like 14th. Okay. the one who started my family was one of the archers, like that was in that war in England. Okay, so that's kind of 1,000 years on its own. We've gone over that, where that's kind of a thousand mechanism itself. Um, like 1,000 years of peace or something. We're at the end of that now since 1900. We'd be at the end of it. That's why everything has built up in tech and everything. So 2066 is like the Hawaii Aussie land. It's like new, and this is emphasis on sports and like ultra sports. I meant to say like ultra sports, like a lot of that stuff. I had a lot of visions about that as well. And then after that starts the thousand. Okay. And that's with Jesus like reigning and stuff, like running the wheel or reigning, like however that goes, with like the people that come out of the tribulation, like doing stuff with their spiritual weapons for the thousand. Okay. So that's kind of the way it goes. All right. So I'll put this like this. All right. Put that like that. And yeah, that's kind of the way it goes. Like it's just kind of simple like that. Like I know it's not very simple, but I try to keep it as basic as I can with it, but without getting too crazy. But sometimes it does get crazy. There's fluctuations and everything. Um, and then this is Revelation 20. Okay, Revelation 20 talks about the thousand. Um, and we've gone over creatures that are involved in that. There's even one guy that like the creatures that form from the tribulation, like they're part, you know, like alien and stuff. Like this guy like takes those out. Like he like eats them and stuff. Like he hunts them in the thousand. So it's kind of different. This looks like a big tooth, but so I want to make sure I got everything here. Do we have it all? And this. Yep, that's what it was. This is now this is gray and reptile um arrive. All right, gray and reptile arrive, and then this is Star Wars, Avatar, and 102 arrive. Okay, you see that? So of course I need to put that on here. Because these are happening in reality, that you have these aliens that come here. Gray reptile arrive and Star Wars Avatar arrive. I kind of put that with the zombies, the Muhammad Ali, because that's all alien stuff that goes on, that happens. I kind of put it, but I needed to make it more. I needed to make it more explicit there, more specific and everything. So yeah, this is it. This is what it is. 40 year and 40 year. And remember, some of these Star Wars and everything, they're in these timelines too. The 7 point or this timeline, the 7.2, they're in as well. They just do it through the Matrix plugin. Okay. Um, and um, A lot of them are they're in the smoke in this one is what it is. Let me put that as well. A lot of aliens in smoke. That's what it is. That's the difference. Yep, we're doing this together. It's live. Okay. Aliens in smoke in this one. Okay. That's what it is. That's how it's different because it's ultra sports and they vibe the smoke in this one. The aliens do. Okay. But for these two timelines, they're coming for real. Like they're coming down here. All right. So and let me get this. Miscellaneous aliens also. Miscellaneous aliens also that we went over. Okay. That were a little bit different. And of course, in all these, you have the demons of Dungeons and Dragons, all that stuff are mixed in with it because this is all end times. It's Jeremiah 50 and 51. So I'm gonna eliminate this. I believe this is the full map out. I just covered all of it. So thank you for helping me and have a good night. Keep a mercy mindset and don't worry, it's all gonna work out. Okay. So uh, I'm not saying anything against anyone, and just stay peaceful and trust in Jesus. Thank you.